the biggest increase was the videos and the photos. Being able to show the customer specifically, hey, this is what's going on. It may not have been the primary concern, but this is a very safety concern that needs to be fixed immediately. We've definitely seen increased in hours per RO.
Presented from the Aishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
Welcome to Dealer Insider, the video series that touches the automotive dealer market. I'm Kyle Alexander, and joining me today is Wes Beeman, Parts and Service Director at Blake Fulenwider Ford of Andrews in Andrews, Texas. Hey Wes, thanks for chatting with me today.
Hello, how are you, sir?
Doing all right. I'm excited to be talking to you today a little bit about your operation there in the service department at Blake Fulenwider Ford of Andrews. First question for you here. Tell me a little bit about Blake Fulenwider Ford of Andrews and the market that you serve.
So Blake Fulenwider Ford, we are a Ford dealership. We are in the heart of the Permian Basin and kind of serve our small community here in Andrews, but we also branch out to Midland, Odessa, Lubbock, and as north as some customers from New Mexico. It's a lot of oil and gas commercial work, but we also have the everyday retail customer that we make sure is our priority.
Very cool. Lots of reach there out of Andrews. Obviously, the Andrews store is a relatively recent addition to the Blake Fulenwider group, acquired in late 2023 here. What were your priorities when you came into the role of Parts and Service Director?
So first and foremost was to instill the Blake Fulenwider culture, which is be expert, be nice, and do the right thing. When we bought this store, you know, we kind of had minimal employees, and it's about building the team, instilling the culture, and making sure we had the right people in the right seat.
Awesome. You were kind of touching on this a few minutes ago, too, how you kind of work in the oil industry out there. You got a lot of trucks and stuff going out there, and West Texas is definitely truck country. So how does that shape what your service department looks like day to day? What kind of job types are you working on? What's the volume, and what are customer expectations?
So it does take a pretty big shape as far as appointment scheduling and things of that nature. It's a lot of commercial vehicles, leased vehicles from companies, and making sure that engines, transmissions, it's big heavy line work. And then we got to fill that with some of the routine maintenance and ensure that our retail customers are getting in the mix as well.
And like you also talked about, you're pulling customers from Andrews, Odessa, and Midland, Texas, a wide footprint. What's the challenge of retaining customers when some of them are driving a pretty significant distance just to get to your dealership?
So we do offer another service as well. It's pickup and delivery. I know most Ford dealerships do this, but we extend that out to our commercial companies as well, to where we have truck and trailer DOT certified, and they send us a pin drop of where the vehicle's broke down at, or if it just needs service, we'll send drivers after that to get it back to the dealership and also deliver it back to them once the job is completed.
That's pretty cool. Let's shift gears here and talk about DealerLogix. When did the store start using it, and what problem were you trying to solve with DealerLogix?
So we installed DealerLogix back in March of this year. One of the issues that we were rising was trying to fix the lack of communication in between internal technicians, parts service advisors. Try to simplify that process. That way we can streamline an estimate to a customer and try to capitalize and get the job completed even faster.
You know, customer retention in the service lane, it's one of the harder things to move. What does retention actually look like as a metric for you, and how do you think about it and measure it?
So service retention to me is ensuring the customer makes me their number one call. Being personable, understanding that there's a person on the other line, not just AI answering a phone call and scheduling an appointment for you, but a human being that they can physically show up to this dealership and we're out there shaking hands and greeting them with a smile.
Now, DealerLogix talks a lot about closing that gap between service, parts, and technicians. As someone who oversees both parts and service, does that integration actually show up in your daily operation?
Extremely. We have had a lot of less parts not being ordered, a lot of less customers that, estimates going to fleet commercial companies. Sometimes it takes 3 to 4 days to get an approval. These things have sped up to where we're getting approvals within, 24 hours to 48 hours at times.
Let's shift gears a little bit here. Talk about appointment scheduling. In a market where a lot of your customers are working in oil and gas and don't have predictable schedules, how has digital scheduling changed the dynamic there?
It's definitely opened it up to where if we do have openings in that same day, customers are able to schedule that appointment. They can bring it in is based off of with whatever's going on. I can get it in and out in same day. In some cases, it's given them the ease to just be able to get it on the books to know that they're dropping it off here if it's just a couple of day repair as well.
Awesome. Walk us through what a customer's service experience looks like at Blake Fulenwider, Ford of Andrews. What does it look like now versus what it looked like before DealerLogix?
So before DealerLogix, I would say a customer would bring in a vehicle, whether it was an appointment or whether it was a tow-in. It would take anywhere from about 72 hours to 84 hours to be able to get a diagnosis. We had a little bit of a lack of communication within those first couple of days. There wasn't a lot of, updates, I should say. Now, after installing DealerLogix, they're getting greeted with welcome messages. We can give them a diagnosis typically within 48 hours now. And
Awesome.
on top of that, we're also being able to communicate with them through text messaging, or if they need a personal phone number, they have that at their fingertips and it comes directly to you, whether or not you're at your desk or whether you're in the shop. I mean, it pings the cell phone as well, and we're able to go back and forth with them at wherever we're located.
Now, the digital MPI and RO write-up tools, what kind of pushback did you get from advisors or techs when you first introduced them, and what changed once they got comfortable with the process?
So in the beginning, the technicians and advisors were very enthusiastic about the process, knowing that we're going to be able to take care of our customers a lot more promptly and accurately. Being able to add pictures and videos with the digital MPI has also helped benefit the success rate of being able to capture more repairs. It's helped with quicker diagnostics and also with quicker completion times. So honestly, we didn't really have much kickback at all.
That's a good positive feedback there for sure. Now, DealerLogix also cites a 41% increase in additional service recommendation close rates with digital inspections. Have you seen anything like that on your end, and what do you credit for it?
I have. I'm not for sure if I'm quite at 41% just yet, but we're definitely climbing the ladder on that. The biggest increase was the videos and the photos. Being able to show the customer specifically, hey, this is what's going on. It may not have been the primary concern, but this is a very safety concern that needs to be fixed immediately. We've definitely seen increased in hours per RO.
Let's talk texting and mobile pay features now. In a market like West Texas, where customers tend to be independent and don't want to spend time waiting around, how have those gone over?
It has gone seamlessly. The customers really enjoy it, especially with the oil and gas workers. You may not have the actual manager that has the ability to pay, being able to pick up the vehicle. So within just a couple of minutes, being able to send over an invoice link to have payment and being able to release the vehicle, it has been extremely beneficial to us here.
Also, Service Valet is a piece of the DealerLogix suite that a lot of people don't necessarily expect from a store in a smaller market. Are you using it? And if so, what kind of customer is actually taking advantage of it?
So we do have a couple customers that's taking advantage of it at the moment. It gets you in same day. It also gets you to be able to have that next available lift. And it's allowing customers to be a little bit more strategic on whether it's a smaller repair or a larger repair and keeping their fleet up and rolling as well.
Let's talk reporting and performance data. Are you the one pulling these reports, or is the GM Hollis Rogers looking at them from the top? How does that data flow through your leadership structure?
So I do pull the reports every single day. Hollis, we always go over everything once a week as well. He's involved, and all the way up to our dealer principal as well. So all eyes are on these reports. Great feedback since we've installed it in March, and honestly, just great profit increases as well.
Now, the positioning around DealerLogix is that it helps dealerships compete on the customer experience and not just for price. For a Ford store in Andrews, Texas, going up against independents and regional chains, does that resonate with you?
Yes, it does. We are always customer first, making sure that, the satisfaction of our jobs is at the best, and our response rates from surveys have increased over 25% since installing DealerLogix. And I do give credit based off of the MPI and the video capability of being able to send that, full credit for those response rates.
It's awesome to hear you're seeing an impact with your CSI scores too there, Wes. Let's transition a little bit here. If you're talking to a parts and service director at another Ford store in a similar market, rural, high truck volume, customers with options, what would you tell them about DealerLogix and what it actually does for customer retention that, they might not expect?
I would say it is well worth the expense, knowing that your customers are getting an accurate estimate, and it's very cordial. It looks great as far as presentation goes, very user friendly of approving work or declining work, and it's just seamlessly with whatever DMS that you're working with, and it's integrated with all. So definitely I would recommend getting it installed as quickly as possible.
Where do you see the service department at Blake Fulenwider Ford of Andrews in 3 years? And what role does technology like DealerLogix play in getting there?
I see this dealership growing extremely fast. I definitely know that we already have close to another 5 to 6 technicians ready to jump board once our renovation is done. And I'm encouraged knowing that DealerLogix is going to be with us and helping us grow and get to the numbers that we look to get to.
Awesome stuff, Wes. Hey, thanks again for joining me today on Dealer Insider.
Thank you, sir.